How you doing, guys? Way back in the day when life was so much simpler, I used to work in this factory. This factory had these heavy-duty thermoforming ovens, so the average year-round temperature was anywhere between 110 and 120 degrees, and in the heat of summer it was even worse. So what was the thing we liked to do after a hard day's work? Well, that was to go drinking. Our favorite place was about 2 cities away, but on the way we would hit every bar in between. Anyways, we were very abusive to the new guys that used to come with us. They thought they could hang. And this one guy wanted to go with us one night. Now, I had a very good friend I used to go drinking with, all constantly. We were inseparable at the time. And this new guy wanted to come out with us. And we're like, well, you sure you can hang? And he's like, oh, yeah, I can hang. I'll give him credit. He did very well as far as hanging. Now, Thursdays was the heavy-duty night because it was payday. That was the night we went out and did the heavy-duty power drinking, and he came with us. Now, Friday was when the Alka-Seltzer was passed around, and he came into work the next day, the new kid, I mean, and he was hurting. He was hurting really bad. So we're downing our Alka-Seltzer, and he says, man, I feel terrible. Well, I was very abusive to people at the time, and I says, well, you need an Alka-Seltzer? And he says, oh, yeah, badly. And I says, here. So I gave him one. And I says, if you wanted to get into your system faster, here's what you do. You put the Alka-Seltzer in your mouth first, and then drink the water. And he's like, really? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it'll get right into your system. You'll feel so much better. He was stupid enough to do it. He no sooner took the mouthful of water and the Alka-Seltzer foam started coming out of his ears, out of his nose, out of his mouth. Didn't dawn on me that we could have drowned the kid, but oh well. Anyways, this good friend of mine, this guy had tattoos from head to toe. He was a bit more of a heavier drinker than I was. He was a little bit older than I was. Now, he and I got married primarily at the same time. And as the years went by, I left the factory, went my separate way, and apparently he had lost his job. So when he lost his job, he started power drinking all the more. And it got so bad that his wife had left him. As soon as the money ran out, there was no more money for alcohol. Out of desperation, he started drinking mouthwash. And it was at this time that he checked himself into rehab to get himself cleared up. He admitted to himself that he did have a problem. Over the next few months, he started cleaning his act up and actually started looking better. So that we wouldn't stumble him, we opted not to drink around him. I haven't talked to the guy in many years. I don't know if he's still dry or not, but if he is dry, I'm sure he still has the taste for alcohol, much like any addiction. Hell, I've been fighting these for decades. And even after I quit for a long period of time, I still go fumbling for them. I currently live in a pathetic little town that I think I'd gone into at one point. This town has a major alcoholic problem. If you're not a drinker in this town, you have very few friends. My social ties have always been limited here as it is. I had thought that when I became one of Jehovah's Witnesses that all that would change, but after you step back and take a look around, you find out just how many addicts are actually in the kingdom halls, both alcoholic, antidepressants, or whatever else they secretly can get a hold of. Remember, Jehovah's Witnesses are the happiest people on the planet. That's why many of them are on antidepressants. It's funny that they have to be told this week after week that they're so happy, but they still require those antidepressants. I, over the years, have thought of another addiction that Jehovah's Witnesses all have that I don't know if anybody's ever thought of, and that is the watchtower propaganda. That is addictive as crack cocaine. I mean, even for the ones who have left the organization, if you think about it, how many times has it crossed your mind, and this has been mentioned by several YouTubers over the years, even after years after you're leaving or you're freshly out, it always crosses your mind, what if they're right? And on occasion, that'll still hit me. Even though I know the whole thing is BS and it's a big lie, it's a big corporate scam to get all your money, it still crosses your mind that what if they're right? Or how about those witnesses that may miss a few meetings because of health issues or something? They can't get to the Kingdom Hall fast enough. I mean, they're no sooner fresh out of the Sunday meeting where they have to rush right back to the midweek meeting to get their fix. And that pretty much is what it is a fix. And it never dawned on me that way. I mean, I was talking to one kid right after the meeting. I said, what are you doing after the meeting? He says, oh, we're going over to the next town over and catch their meeting, get a double whammy. Okay, listen to the same thing that you just heard. A double whammy. I mean, that's like a double shot of crack cocaine right there. I couldn't see it. You just heard everything. What more do you think you're going to get out of it? And the repetition of the meetings is like nicotine. You constantly need that fix, no matter where you go. But my thing is, Jehovah's Witnesses, we were all at one time addicted to this propaganda. Many of us woke up to it. We got away. And how have we fared? Well, much like a former smoker, former alcoholic, somebody who's kicked a drug habit, some have fared better than others. But it's still on the back of their mind. There's still something tugging on their ear to get them to go back. It's, look what's happening in Russia. They've been banned. Other countries are starting to ban them. There are Jehovah's Witnesses, many on the inside, that are waking up, that want to leave. But to the indoctrinated Jehovah's Witnesses, the ones who still believe this is the truth, look around you guys, okay? It's one thing to voluntarily quit smoking. It's one thing to voluntarily quit drinking. It's another thing entirely to voluntarily to walk away from Watchtower because you know it's a lie. You can adjust your life accordingly with time. But the indoctrinated JW, what are you going to do when Watchtower is no longer there? Whether it's banned by a certain government or the corporation just cuts its losses and disappears with what they've got left, where are you going to get your fix? What's going to happen when you find out your Kingdom Hall was sold? Or you go to another Kingdom Hall and find their doors closed. No more literature, no more information. You find out that your faithful and discreet slave were nothing of the kind. Okay, now you've quit cold turkey. Or not so much quit, but you had your drug taken away from you. Okay, you can compare the Kingdom Halls to the pipe. You can compare Watchtower with the crack. Guys, what are you going to do? Look around you. Don't you remember what they used to teach? That when the world governments attacked the world empire, false religion, Watchtower was going to be the only one left? It kind of looks to me that they're going to be long gone before that even happens, whether it's by government or by their own choice. It's a corporation, guys. It's in it to make money, and they want to save as much as they can. Think about it, JWs, okay? We'd all like to see you wake up. We are not your enemies. We'd like to see you get out of this corrupt organization before it ruins your lives like it's ruined so many. Anyways, that's all I got today, guys. I just kind of wanted to get that out there, and I'd really greatly appreciate your comments below. I want to thank my subscribers. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. If you come across this video, hit like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. You guys have a good day.